Hello, welcome to another episode of Camps and Borders. As you already know, this is a podcast that's focused on stories of migration and forced displacement. And not just that, we are bringing the people living in the reality of forced migration to share stories and insights on issues that affect their communities. My name is Violet Ikong, and I am your host. Today, our focus is on challenging misconceptions and stereotypes about refugees. People have a lot of misconceptions, stereotypes about these displaced people, and we're going to be looking at them. I will not be doing the talking. We have two very important guests in our midst today. We have Mr. Cheng Laban. He's a Cameroonian refugee in Nigeria and the founder of a non-profit called Gessi. We also have with us Santos Madiu, who lived in Kenya as a refugee. He's from South Sudan. He lived in Kenya as a refugee for over a decade before he was resettled in the United States. So these people will be doing justice to the discussion today. It's nice to have you. I'll start with Mr. Cheng. It's nice to have you join us, Mr. Cheng. Before anything, I would like you to just say hi and tell us briefly about yourself.
My name is Cheng Labando, a Southern Cameroon refugee living here in Adagonwan Refugee Settlement, Cross River State, Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Cheng. And moving to Santos. Santos, it's nice to have you join us. So just very briefly tell us about you before we go into the conversation.
My name is Santos Madeo. I'm a South Sudanese refugee raised in Kenya and now living in the United States.
All right, so back to you, Mr. Cheng. Can you tell us common misconceptions or stereotypes that you have heard about refugees?
I often heard about refugees as people without a hope and a future. But having been a refugee myself since 2018, I realized that was not actually the reality. Not because it couldn't be, but because of the solidarity of the world towards these forcibly displaced people. And I want to sincerely appreciate every contribution made by UNHCR, the leading player in the humanitarian space. Thanks to their effort, some countries are providing us with protection and safety.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cheng. And now to you, Santos. Same question. Just share stereotypes, misconceptions. Let's know.
One stereotype I've had is that refugees are a burden to the society, but that is not true. We are resilient, hardworking, and we contribute in every space we enter.
All right, thank you, Santos, for that brief one. And back to you, Mr. Cheng. How exactly are you contributing to your community as a refugee? I mean, if we are debunking these misconceptions, these stereotypes, we have to show them that refugees are contributors themselves. So, how are you contributing?
Being the founder and the director of Great Step Initiative, which now goes by the name GC Development and Humanitarian Initiative because of registration purposes, we have a workforce of 32 volunteers, 8 of whom are from the host communities. I believe I'm impacting both our host communities and the refugees through the 4 main thematic areas of our organization as follows: psychosocial counseling and rehabilitation, gender-based violence, child protection, preventive health and sanitation awareness. We have carried out some remarkable activities in our community, such as being the lone organization that carried out COVID-19 response, safety, and preventive measures to ensure our community was healthy. We produced reusable sanitary pads, masks, liquid soaps, disinfectants, and we were doing this because at that time the interurban transport was restricted. We planted economic trees in all the refugee settlements within Ogoja local government area, providing livelihood skills such as tailoring, hairdressing, shoes and bag production, soap making, digital marketing. All these to both the refugee and the host community.
All right, so before we continue the conversation, I'd like us to look at common myths that people have or hold about refugees and then what exactly the facts are. I got this from the website of the UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR. So, the first myth is that refugees willingly leave their home countries to find a better place to live. That's not true. The fact is that refugees are forced to flee their homes to escape war, violence, and persecution. They do not have a choice and are forced to make the difficult decision to leave behind the lives they once knew, often spending several years in refugee camps or settlements, not knowing what the future holds. All right, and then let's go to number two. The second myth is that it had to find something in common with refugees. That's not true. The fact is that anyone can be a refugee. They are parents, children, doctors, lawyers, teachers, and the only thing that differentiates them from most Americans or most people is that they were forced to flee their homes and completely restart their lives. All right, so that's from UNHCR, and I have another one here. This one is from Women for Women UK, and it's actually 5 myths and misconceptions about refugees. Just quickly, let's see. Number one, this is a myth. Refugees are a crisis. That's not true. The fact is, as so long as war and conflicts continue, people will continue to flee them. And that's true. And number two, myth number two, refugees never return home. The fact is, many refugees would prefer to live in their home countries if only it were safe. And many do return. Number three, most refugees are coming to Europe, North America, and Australia. The fact is, 83% of refugees are hosted in low and middle income countries. All right, and myth number four, refugees are taking our jobs and ruining our economies and communities. That's not true. The fact is, research shows that refugees have positive social and economic impact. And finally, myth number five, there's nothing I can do to help refugees. That is not true. It says we all have the power to make a difference and that all of us can do something to support refugees, whether it is welcoming refugees into your home community, raising awareness about the cause, or showing you stand with them and believe in their power. You can make a difference. Okay, so I got that from Women for Women UK. So let's continue with the conversation now. Okay, Santos, I know it's not been long you moved to the US, but then you could still share. Just tell us something, how you're contributing.
Today, I gave back by working in a manufacturing company, volunteering in a community radio stations, and sharing a story to inspire others and raise awareness.
Okay, it's been quite a wonderful discussion so far. And now back to you, Mr. Cheng. What exactly would you say is your message to the world about refugees? I mean, if you had to tell the world something about refugees, what would you tell them?
I would like to tell the world is that refugees are not just people who are ready to receive from others, but they are a pool of talent and professionals whom, if given a chance, they can contribute immensely to their host countries and communities. The world should bring them to the table for meaningful refugee participation, not just for issues that concerns them. Although through the goodwill gesture of so many people in the world, refugees find hope where away from home. There's definitely no place like home. The initial experience of a refugee is not something anyone should pray to have.
All right, thank you, Cheng. And Santos, do you have anything to add to what he just said?
To the world, refugees are not just people fleeing war. We are students, leaders, parents, and future change makers. Being a refugee means surviving what many could not imagine and still choosing hope. It's painful, but it also makes you strong, compassionate, and determined to rise.
All right, so with that, we have come to the end of today's episode of Camps and Borders. Thank you so much, Chenglaban. Thank you so much, Santos Madu. And thank you so much to anyone and everyone that's listening to this podcast this moment. And we would not be doing this if we didn't have you, our dear listeners. So thank you and see you next time on another episode of Camps and Borders. Do well to leave comments, do well to leave questions and feedback. We appreciate reading all of that. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet. Thank you and see you next time.